Hi, this is Dana from Toad Hopper Ranch, and we're about to take on a project here. Terry built a raised bed, and we're going to put it at the end of our garden right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to burn this off, hopefully not setting the entire yard on fire like happened last year, and see if we can get it leveled out and get it in there. So we'll try to get the progress to that, of what's going on here in this video. So stay tuned. Okay, so what we're doing right now is we're wetting down the area around the garden so we don't set the entire yard on fire like
we've done before.
Well, I did. I admit it, here on live YouTube. And so we got the hose nearby. We're going to burn it off with one of these weed torches, I guess is what you call it. We'll see how that works. And then we'll put this raised bed over top of it after it gets rototillered up a bit. So anyway, do I have that all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Fine, I'll show.
Have you ever used one of those before?
No.
Well, this is all new.
Could be a blast.
Could be a blast. Shall I stand way back? Hopefully everything's green enough that it's not going to ignite everything. But it looked green out here last November when I just lit that small pile over there. Well, there we go. And I'm going to put this down for a bit in case I have to put the yard out. So we'll see, let you see how the progress goes in a little bit. Well, he's still at it, and I haven't had to get out the hose to put much out, except for we was trying to burn my okra plants down that are over here that are still producing. It just looks like sticks, but there is okra on the end of them. But it seems to be doing the job, but in my opinion, it's an expensive way to get rid of stuff. I would have been in favor of another method, but boys in fire, there just seems to be a thing. How light is that can? I didn't understand what he said, but I think he said halfway. But it'll definitely kill everything that's growing. We're going to set that box on top of it, and we're going to put some weed cloth on the bottom of it to prevent stuff from growing up from it, through it, I hope. We'll see how that works. Like I said, this garden was an experiment this year. All those sticks and stuff are where my tomatoes were. There's peppers on the other side that are still growing. I don't know if I can zoom in on those. The zoom doesn't always work, but yeah, you can see some peppers up there. And then aside from that garden, we also have the one on the other side of the driveway, which is pretty much flattened out now. And it was where I grew the zucchini and the spaghetti squash, and I had a watermelon. There were some cucumbers over there on that fence. You see, I got a hibiscus growing over there that I brought seed from Ohio, and I got 2 plants over there, and one of them actually bloomed. And then a Mexican sunflower, which has about lost all of its glory. Everything got a fungus here because it was so dry. And I was going to show you earlier, but I dug up a hole in the ground to, well, he's kind of burned it out now, but I dug up a hole in the ground to dig up some chives. Chives kind of last, they keep coming up, so I dug those up, and it's just like digging into dust, at least a foot down. It's just we've had no rain here and the ground is really, really dry. Well, we're almost done with the burning, just that little spot right there. I'm surprised that the propane tank lasted that long. But while I was standing here, I turned around and I noticed that I was standing right next to, and if I can focus on him, kinda. I don't know if I can change the setting on this or not. No, but let me get up in the sun or in the sky. But that is a orb weaver, and they're pretty large spiders. No, it's not going to let me focus on it. I had posted a picture of a couple earlier, and inside our lean-to, and they're harmless. They just eat the bugs in the garden, but they won't bite people. But it sure is messy when you walk into one of their webs, because they're huge webs. They're a huge spider. I mean, if you spread him out, he's probably about the size of a silver dollar. So he's out early tonight, and this is about the time that they start coming out. It's just before dark. Meanwhile, back at the campfire, how's it going, Terry? I think he's worked up a sweat. But that is a pretty expensive way to kill stuff in your garden. We're just doing this little section. We wouldn't be able to do all of this, and then the one behind me with fire. Because what's a propane tank? 20 bucks for a refill? Something like that? I don't know. But anyway, this is just, we're still in an experimental stage. Well, the burning is done, and Terry did say that shorts are not recommended. And, yeah, so this is what we're getting now is dust. This is how dry the ground is here. It's just dust. So, supposed to get rain sometime this week. We'll see. Let me back off and show you how much is burned. Burned again because he's plowing up or disking up more weeds. So he'll probably do another stretch of it, I bet. We'll see.
I wet everything down pretty good.
Okay. Alright, so here it is the next day, and we didn't quite get that raised bed set up yet, but we wanted, since we had this torch all set up, we wanted to burn this hill. This hill is dirt that we dug out from underneath our crawl space, and it decided to sprout things on its own. So we're burning that off, and we're probably going to use some of the dirt because it seems to grow things really well, but we're going to use some of that dirt to fill our box. We just want to kill everything that's in it right at the moment. So I'm standing by with the hose, and Terry's doing all the hot work, and then we'll start working on the box again. Well, everybody, it took a few days before we got back to this video, and you can see that we have got the box that Terry built out here and all the area that he burned off and he tilled up, and that looks pretty good. I put the flowers around it just because I like them. So anyway, there's been a change of plans. So Terry, what are we going to do now?
I have no idea. No, this is a work in progress. We knew it'd be a slow start. We haven't canned anything this is the second year. And it may be 2 more years before we do, but we do have some long-term plans. And I stated in an earlier video that eventually we would like to produce the majority of our own fresh vegetables and be able to put up enough to last till the next season. But that we haven't achieved that. Our existing garden, which you can see, I'm going to ask her to pan over and show the old garden here we had this year. It's roughly 20 feet by 50 feet. In perspective, our garden we had in Ohio was 20 feet by 40 feet. And in World War II, the city victory gardens that people had in their backyards were 25 by 50 feet. Our goal here is we staked out where we want our fence, and our fence is 10 foot bigger on each side than the garden. So our garden area will eventually be 50 by 50 with a gate where that center marker is over there coming up to where the stump is, so we could haul compost and dirt and other things, waste in and out and that sort of thing. And we'll have 2 probably victory garden sized gardens, 1 on each side, and probably half eventually will be raised beds. And my son was nice enough to point out to me with this box here, I had the materials here, but if I had to go out and buy the materials, we were going to plant garlic in this one. In our lifetime, we'll never raise enough garlic to pay for the box and the dirt and everything else. And we got a shot garlic, seed garlic is roughly $20 for a half a pound on one site we looked at. I'm not sure how that works out math-wise. But that's our plan. This will give us room to grow a little sweet corn, which we haven't done we tried this year but didn't work out. We haven't had any sweet corn in our garden probably 5 or 6 years now.
Well, what we learned is that the stalks only grew about 2.5, 3 feet tall, and they got little tiny corns on them, and maybe that's what the Asian corn is. But the raccoons liked it; they got to it before it even got ripe, so I guess it was edible, at least for them.
Yeah, not so much for us. We do have tillable ground here, but it's not very good. A little bit north of here, the ground is better. And there's some people growing corn, things like that. But it's going to take several years to get the ground to develop to where we can kind of make it worth our while, actually. But if we were trying to make it worth our while, we would probably just give up and buy everything at Aldi's. Because cost-wise right now you can buy stuff at the store cheaper than you can garden. But the advantage of the garden is you get to grow it yourself. It's something you can be proud of. And we enjoy getting out in the mornings and working in the garden, although we haven't had much time because of the other projects. And the big thing to consider is when you grow your own vegetables, you know what chemicals and poisons were put on them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not put up in a factory.
And you get them fresh.
They're fresh. And when you can stuff fresh, or freeze it, or dry it, or any number of ways you can preserve your food, it has a whole lot better flavor and nutritional value than the factory canned stuff you buy in the stores. And if you want to look up something interesting, look at the factory processing corn. I mean, they're shoveling that stuff around with a front end loader.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want factory food, you can get it cheaper right now than you can in the garden. If you want healthy food in a fun, although albeit sometimes pretty hard work, hobby, I would suggest gardening.
Well, we're retired, so what else do we have to do? Right?
Yeah, we fix things and grow things, and that's basically what we do.
And we eat.
And we eat, and we like to eat what we grow.
Yeah. So I think we should wrap this up
Because
because
it's raining,
it's raining.
and that's a good thing.
Yeah, finally. Hopefully we'll get enough rain here to saturate down more than half an inch. So until the next time, thanks for watching our video. We hope you like it. We hope you subscribe to it. And we'll see you on the next one. Have a blessed day.